Hello there, I'm Sandra B. I'm thrilled to welcome you to Brave Spaces. This podcast is all about having courageous conversations around biblical womanhood, personal growth, marriage, and family, everything rooted in timeless principles. How to be a high achieving, resilient woman while elevating your marriage and relationships and your friendships. Far too often, you have been told you can't have it all. That being a high achieving woman means something must give. And usually, your marriage and your children are the first to suffer, including your faith. But what if that is a lie? What if you could thrive in your career and in your marriage without sacrificing your identity or peace of mind? Let's challenge this narrative and explore how resilience and intentionality, as well as faith, can transform your life. The world applauds your ambition, but whispers judgment when you stumble in your marriage or feel disconnected from your kids. Society pushes a narrative that success comes at a cost, and marriages are often the first casualty, or your family. Here's the truth, it's not about choosing one over the other. It's about redefining success to include what truly matters: faith, family, and your God given purpose. In Proverbs 31, the lady is often celebrated as a virtuous woman. She's a woman who has a thriving marriage, a thriving family, and a thriving business. That makes me believe that if she can have that, there's a reason why it's in the word. It is to remind us that if she could do it, we too, as modern women in 2025, can also do it. She was excelling at all these things without neglecting any of them. As strength and honor are often celebrated, and I think we can learn something from that, that we don't have to give up on our families and our marriages and our career. We do not have to choose. Does this sound like you? I'm killing it at work, but I feel like I'm failing at home. My calendar is packed. My heart feels empty. I want to be a present parent for my kids. I want to be a present wife for my husband, but my to-do list never ends. If any of this resonates, take a deep breath. You are not alone, and more importantly, there is hope. I would like to ask the question, what's really holding you back from having all these things? And I understand that the challenges are real, but they are not insurmountable. Your days feel like a constant race. You feel disconnected from your marriage, and you feel like you're constantly just functioning instead of fulfilling the thing that God has called you to do. And your guilt, of course, comes in and overwhelms you, that you can't even think straight because you're too busy feeling guilty about things you really can't do much about. When you're at work, you worry about home, and when you're at home, you worry about work, and when you are with your children, you worry about your husband. You know that vicious cycle that just goes on and on and on. But I would like to challenge you that these struggles do not necessarily mean that you are failing. I don't think so. I think it is a place of growth. And God, who began a good work in you, will bring it into completion. And if He can teach the virtuous woman how to manage all these things, He can also teach us the same. She was a woman that rose early. She tended to her family, she ran her business, and she spoke of wisdom and kindness. She sounds like a rock star. And no, this isn't a pretty Pinterest fairy tale. This is a woman that lived. She's a Proverbs 31 woman. And we can learn from her that success isn't about hustle. It's about alignment, because her priorities were very clear. The reason why we struggle with our careers, our marriage, our children, and our hobbies is because our priorities are not clear. Hers was God, family, then purpose. Her strength came from her faith, not her accomplishment. And what can we learn from that? because I feel like in 2025, we find our strength in our achievement, and those can never carry us enough. When is enough enough? When is success? How do you even begin to define success, that I've had enough success in my life? You need to define your core values and let them guide your decision. You need to delegate without guilt. She had servant. For me, there are things that I will not delegate. I will never delegate my husband or my children, but I can delegate a meal by once in a while ordering in, by buying a meal from Woolies, or by ordering from a place that makes fresh meals, because I've had a busy day and it's more important for me to have a meal with my family than being separated from them because I'm busy cooking, or involve the whole family. Just know what to delegate. I much prefer to have somebody clean my house than spending that time cleaning the house. That's the time I could be spending with my children. She nurtured her spirit. Her strength came from her relationship with God. If you want to be a woman that can manage these things, you can only get it from God, because it is from God that you get the wisdom and the discernment to build your house and not to tear it down. I'm sure most of us can relate to, you've met a woman who seems to have everything. She's on the verge of a burnout. Her marriage is falling apart. But imagine if this woman, I was once that woman, I felt like my whole world was falling apart. And one night I just broke down. I said, Lord, show me how to do this your way. This prayer changed everything. I didn't quit my dreams or the things that I was doing, but here's what changed. My husband and I started praying together more regularly. We no longer compromised on our weekly dates. I no longer compromised on my rest. I blocked that time for my family and for my husband and for rest, because I decided that my growth and my success does not come from hustle. It is God that blesses the works of our hands. And my hustle is not going to get me further than God's favor. And that changed everything. And this verse made me a very rich woman, not just materialistically, but rich in marriage, rich in my relationship, rich in my marriage. It's this verse. But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added on to you. When I began to put God first, everything else fell into place. Success doesn't mean sacrificing my entire life. You know, they say you can either be successful or have a strong marriage. I think you can have both by choosing what you prioritize. It means that you elevate your relationship with God, make decisions based on your values, not on what everybody else is telling you to do. And also realizing that my marriage is my strongest partnership. When I put my marriage first and we work as a team, we are better and stronger together. So, how do you begin to make this into a reality? Define your work hours. I used to work all the time. Unplug during family time and protect your rest. Communicate regularly and daily with your spouse. Know each other's diary. What are you doing? How can I help you to make your life and your day easier, and vice versa? Pray together as a family. Create rituals of prayer. It will change your life, because when you put God at the center of your life, everything changes. And if you don't know how to pray or where to begin to pray, I have written a prayer journal for busy moms like you who have a deep desire to pray but have no idea where to start or what to pray for. It is called Sacred Moment. It will change your prayer life and the lives of your children and the life of your marriage and just the life of your home generally. The link is below where you can purchase it. Learn to celebrate and acknowledge the small wins. When you do well, Celebrate, because that will encourage you to do even more. Learn to lean on your community. Surround yourself with people that have the same values, that want to bring and that want to build strong marriages, and you can uplift each other. You are a high achieving, resilient woman, and I know you are capable, but it does not mean that you have to juggle so many plates until they shatter. It means walking boldly in your calling while nurturing your marriage, your children, and all the things that God has given you, because He gives you grace for what He has called you to do. Because when you center your life, you prioritize communication with your husband, you live intentionally, you will create a legacy of resilience, of love, and of purpose. You know, in Proverbs 31, it says, her children rise up and call her blessed, and her husband also praises her. This can also be your story, so go step into it boldly. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found this video inspiring and helpful. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Remember, every step you take towards growth and resilience is a step toward a brighter future. Keep shining, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay blessed and take care.